Hi everyone, welcome back to Ninad Talks. My name is Ninad, I'm 11 years old. I recently read a really amazing book called Forestborns, published by Hachette. It even won the Special Jury Award at the FICCI Publishing Awards 2025 in the Children's Book of the Year category for ages 10 and above. Today, I'm super excited because I'm talking to the author of Forestborns, Vardhini Amin. Welcome, Vardhini Auntie. Shall we start?
Hi, Nana. Thank you so much for having me. Let's start.
I'd love to know a bit about your childhood. Where did you grow up? And when did you start reading books? Were you a big reader when you were a kid?
I was born in Nagpur, Maharashtra, and I grew up in Nagpur as well as Mumbai. I went to school, all my schooling years were in Mumbai. Yes, I did read a lot of books since childhood. I always loved reading. I picked up fantasy more than anything else. A lot of comic books too, but fantasy mainly. I used to have a book tucked in somewhere, and I used to love reading any Plitin kind of books, which takes us on these magical adventures that are something more than real life. So that's my story of my childhood.
What kind of books did you enjoy reading back then? Who are some of your favorite authors? And did your parents also help or encourage you to read?
My mom was a big avid reader. So she has and still has this huge collection of books. I have always seen her read a lot. We used to have this giant, you know, big shelf of books stacked there, but they were in Marathi, and I used to love reading in English. So I started making my own little library. I definitely had a lot of handwritten books. I especially remember my favorite book was called The Adventures of the Wishing Chair, where there was a magical chair which just grew wings anytime it wished for. There was no rule to it. It's just like the chair had a mind of its own. And when you sat in the chair, it took you to magical adventures and new adventures every time. So that was one of my favorite books. I have read Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, a lot of comics as well, Archie's comics, and also Indian comics like, Chacha Chaudhary and Tinkle Comics. I don't know if you know them or you have read them ever because you are not from that generation,
My
but those
parents
were
asked me
really
to read
fun.
them. I should.
Yeah, those were so much fun to grow with. Then I started reading a lot of Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and then I grew and I also read a lot of serious stuff like Arundhati Roy and Sydney Sheldon. But then my love is always for fantasy, and I do enjoy reading that still.
When did you start writing? And which authors inspire you or whose writing you really admire?
I started writing very, very late in life. I did not think I could be a writer. I was very much content with reading so much stuff that was out there. But after a while, there were a lot of ideas coming to my head, and I thought, why not write a book myself? And when I thought of writing a book, the first thing I did was start reading more than I was reading. I picked up all fantasy authors like Brandon Sanderson, Lee Bardugo, and a few more. The Dune collection of the Dune trilogy of books. A lot more actually. I can't even like. There's a long list of books that I've read, which are fantasy especially. TJ Klune was one of them as well. And once I've read them, they all inspired me a lot to start writing my own book. And that's how I began writing. And all of these authors have inspired me.
How did Forest Bonds begin for you? Like, when did the idea first come to your mind? And how did you think of such a cool title?
Well, one day I was just standing there underneath a row of trees, and I was thinking of all the ideas in my head and what story I want to write and what do I want to write about. And I kept thinking about all the Disney and Pixar movies that I love so much. And I thought, how cool it is to give a voice to things that don't have a voice, like how a lot of fantasy books use anthropomorphism, which is like Toy Story or a Bug's Life or anything that cannot speak for itself, you kind of pick them and put their point of view across to the world. And I was just looking at a bunch of trees and I thought, hey, why not? These are the largest life form on earth. And they are living things as we know it, but they don't talk, they don't, express themselves. So why not give them a voice? That would be such a cool thing to write. I didn't know how to go from there also. It took me a lot of years to come up with all the ideas that are in the book. But that's definitely how it started out. The title of the book is not my idea. When I wrote the book and I took the book to Hachette, I met a really, really cool editor. Her name is Sanya, and she came up with the title of this book. And as soon as I heard it, I just fell in love with it. And that had to be the title of my book. So, all credit to my editor for that.
Are any of the characters in Forest Bonds inspired by people you actually know, or was the setting based on a real place?
No, really. They are all fictional and figments of my imagination. I have never associated any person that I know in real life. Although there's a little secret that I stole a lot of names from people I know. Like my own son is called Summer, and I did name a character Summer in the book. And yes, I took names, but I did not take the personalities. They were just an jumbled up amalgamation of all the books that I had read.
While you were writing this book, how did your family help or support you? Did anyone from your family or friends read it while you were still working on it?
That's a good question. I actually uh, have a brother and a sister who I practically forced to read my book. When you write a book, there's a first draft, and it's not very perfect. You're figuring out the story, and you don't have a proper writing voice yet. And I used to be behind my sister and my brother who did not really have too much time. They were very busy with their own jobs, but I used to still be behind them and make them read my book. And they have been through it and they have read everything that I've written, all the changes that I've made. So that was a great help to hear their opinions. I also used to tell my book story to all my friends all these years. All my friends have heard it, my family has heard it, my parents have heard it, my kids have heard it. So, yeah, it is such a motivational thing when you tell them and you hear them, talk positively about it or they get excited about it. It motivates you in turn to, finish the book fast and write the book fast. So, yeah, I had a lot of support from my friends and family.
What was it like writing this book? Were there any fun or memorable moments during the process that you'd like to share?
The whole process of writing a book is actually super memorable because when you're writing a book, you're basically creating a new world. You get to think about what the characters are like, or what they're going to do next, or what the world will be like, what the magic system is going to be like. Where do I draw the line? How much can I stretch this thing? So it's all, you feel like very very powerful creating this new world. And it's overall the way you write the book, the overall process is so memorable and so enjoyable. I don't know if you write a book, but if you ever do write it, you will feel
Yes.
the same experience.
Me and my friend are currently writing a book that we actually stopped, but we would like to continue. It's non-fiction, and we just did it for fun, and we want to continue.
That is so cool. I would love to read your book soon. And let me tell you something, fiction or non-fiction, everything is storytelling. You
Yes.
have to tell your stories to put across your points, even if it's non-fiction. So you are a storyteller then.
You visited schools, lit fests, and bookstores with forest bonds. How has that experience been for you?
It was such a wonderful experience. I got to meet other wonderful authors who are writing amazing books. I got to meet so many children like you who had the most weirdest questions. You know what's the most funny question that I was asked? I was asked by one boy if I've really seen, do I really see the tree souls? And that I've written
Funny.
about that. And I actually didn't answer him. I said, you know, maybe. So it's so cool to meet so many kids who have read the book, who tell me how they loved it. And just the idea of something that you've written is now in the hands of thousands of other people. They are reading it, enjoying it. They come and tell you how they loved it. That whole experience is so wonderful to experience. Meeting other authors and traveling the country is and school especially where kids are so excited when you start telling them about the concept of the book. So everything has been an amazing year for me. My book is 1 year old now. So, and especially because it's my first book, it was such a, new experience for me. And I truly, truly enjoyed this journey.
When you're not reading or writing, what do you love to do for fun?
Well, most of my time is taken by my two sons. And then I also have two cats. And I have a lot of plants in the house. So I love gardening, I love taking care of my cats, and I love playing games with my sons. So yeah, that's what I do in my free time when I'm not reading or writing. And I love photography. I've also heard that you love photography, don't you?
Yes, I do. I photograph birds mostly and animals, obviously.
That is so cool because you can't tell them how to pose and how to stand.
Meditation.
So it requires a lot of patience. Congratulations and keep it up.
Thank you. Are you working on a new story right now? Can you give us a small hint about what's coming next?
So I have so much going on. I have one book that I've already written and it's going to be published by Hachette next year. And it's for a little younger kids. It's for 5 to 8 year olds. And it's about a giant. Okay. I really can't tell you what it's about because it's going on, it's under production right now. But I can tell you about another book I'm writing. It is science fiction and it's for your age. It's 11 and up. And it's about dark matter and another whole new universe to discover, which you haven't seen yet. So I love building new worlds, and this is one more in that fashion. So I'm so excited to write this book. Plus, I have a story idea for the prequel of this book, The Forestborns, and I'm so excited and I hope to get, I hope I get to write it soon.
I would love to read that prequel.
Thank you.
And my last question. I always ask this one. Can you please suggest some books that you think young readers like me would enjoy?
So I knew that you're going to ask me this question. So I've made a list, a huge list for you. Um, and I'm going to tell you some of it. All right. So, first of all, I want everyone to read my book, which is The
Yeah.
Forest. It is a fantasy which tests, courage and friendship, and it's about the amazing bonds between humans and nature. I have a very dear friend called Savi Kernel, and her book is called Lakshmi Panda, which has
Read
been
it.
winning all different awards right now. It is a story of a 14-year-old girl who was a spy of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. What a cool concept, right? Another book she has is called The Nameless God. And I know you've read those books, right? You
The
have
second
you?
one, I am not really sure. I don't think so. The
So
first
you
one,
have the
Lakshmi
second
Panda,
one.
yes, I have.
That's so cool. You should check out the second one as well. There's a murder mystery book for children which is called The White Lotus by Aditi Krishnakumar.
I haven't.
Uh,
But read it though.
check it out. There is some classics like, if you like detective series like, Sherlock Holmes, then you should check the Feluda series by Satyajit Ray. You should also check out, you know, there's a author called Ross Belford, and he has all these books about Time travel and science fiction. One of them is called The Thousand-Year-Old Boy. One of them is called Time Traveling with a Hamster. They are books by Ross Welford. You should definitely check them out if you love sci-fi. And then there's another classic called Book Thief. It's a very famous book. You should definitely check it out. You should also read The Little Prince. Have you ever read it?
No, I don't think so. Mostly not.
You should check it out. It's like a very poetic story, and it reminds you to see things with your heart rather than your eyes. Should definitely read it.
I will try.
And yes, you should. And then there is another fantasy series called Arusha and the End of Time. It is by an amazing author called Roshni Choksi. This book is famous all over the world. It's a series, so you should definitely check that out. And I have such a big list, so maybe I could email it to you
Sure.
and you could definitely share it with your subscribers.
Thank you so much, Vardhini Auntie, for talking to me today. It was really fun hearing about Forest Bonds and your journey as a writer. I
Thank
enjoyed our chat a lot.
Thank you so much, Ninad, for having me. It was so much fun talking to you.
To everyone watching, if you liked this interview, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more author talks and book chats. See you next time.